Hey everybody, Tony and Chris back for another Blue Collar Gentleman TigerSox review.
Is that what this is?
This is a blue
If
collar
you
beer,
say
actually
so.
blue collar beer gentleman.
With the
Ah,
with the Bay Bridge behind us on the wall.
I've already got a sweaty head,
Yeah, we're
and
not
we're inside in the air conditioning. So,
72 degrees in my house. Explain that to me.
fat hairy guy.
This is our first review in, I don't know, 4 weeks or so.
It's been a while. Yeah.
We were absent for various reasons, most noteworthy being various family health related
Yep.
drama. So we kept missing out on chances to do this. Plus we work. So
And we've got,
anyway,
but we are back with the Cellared edition, Cellared Beers edition. And just so you know, we will be hopefully very soon. Well, one we're going to be finishing up the Cellared Beers edition. Plan on probably finishing that first, but then before very long, we will be going back to our brewery on-site reviews. We've already got clearance from one brewery in Henderson, one of the better-known breweries in Henderson, and talking to another one on the west side. So
West Side, West Side.
West Side, West Side. So, anyway,
All right.
uh, yes, I did grow up on the west side of my town. So,
Big city
um,
boy like Kansas City. Yeah.
anyway, we will
Coming
be back to
soon.
brewery on site
Yes.
videos. Now
We're in my dining room
we
officially.
are in deep into the season, and
Oh, baseball?
yes, baseball,
Yeah,
and
let's get that out
let's
of the
just get
way
it out of the way. Exactly.
before we have a nice beer.
Uh-huh.
This is probably the last time you're going to see me wearing this hat for a while
Yeah.
because because
Until April.
April might be when we yeah, but by then you won't be living here anymore. So
Maybe, I don't know. It's difficult to say. Never say never anymore. That's what I learned.
but Detroit has they have 103 losses as of today. Today is September 15th. The season's about 2 weeks away from ending. Boston does have a winning record,
Yeah,
but
a lot of good it did them. I
they
mean,
are dramatically behind in the. There's just not enough games left on the
no,
schedule
there aren't.
to make up any ground. So both of our teams will not be playing any
Yeah.
postseason. Interesting stat: the Tigers just played the Baltimore Orioles a couple days ago.
Uh-huh.
It was the first time in 50 years that two teams played against each other that were both 50 games below 500.
Wow. Wow.
Detroit is currently 60 games below
The
500.
first time in how many years?
50.
50. So
And it was
50
50,
years
50,
and it's
50, right.
50-50. Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so baseball is fading away. Football's back, but I'm having a hard time getting into it. So anyway, we're switching gears to beer now.
We are.
Switch the gear to beer. A local company, Joseph James.
And this is a beer we have actually reviewed before.
But why are we reviewing it again,
We are reviewing it
Chris?
again because it is part of the Cellared series. This beer is at least 3 years old. I was trying to think
Age as well.
if I could remember.
There.
This is one that I unfortunately was not smart enough to write the year on it. But it
But you
does.
know it's at least from 2016, 17.
Yeah, I bought it once I got back from Washington. I've been back from Washington for four
And
years.
they say it
So
ages well on the bottle, so this is one that I feel a little more comfortable trying.
this is my favorite specialty barley wine. Now, my favorite standard barley wine still remains Old Jackalope out of Tenaya Creek. But in terms of specialty barley wines, it's this one. This is a barley wine that's so unique. Actually, Tony liked it when he drank it.
I
He
did
likes
like
it.
it.
He
He
likes it.
likes
Hey,
it.
Tony,
Yeah.
he likes it.
Yeah.
He actually said he liked it, folks. Not that he was able to drink it, which is
Right.
usually the case with the barley wine with Tony. He actually said he liked it. So,
Yes, and they're out of Henderson. Joseph James is very highly respected. I mean,
mhm.
they've got a very big fan base here in Las Vegas. So
The problem with Joseph James, though, is that they're not making the root beer anymore. Couple of years now, they haven't been making the
that's
root
true.
beer,
That's true.
and that's kind of a bummer because that's how it all actually started was with the root beer.
The day is going to come someday when they open their tap room,
Yeah.
and they've been kind of whenever we do bump into a lot of these guys at
Mhm.
Tenaya Creek. They work at this place, that place, this place. They're all you know
Surprise, surprise! The
brewery
craft
umbrella.
brewing community knows one another in a town
Exactly.
where you're lucky to find craft beer.
But they've been
So
floating this tap room slash taste room for years, literally years and years. I remember we went to a Lee's Beer Experience
they're one of the older breweries in town, actually.
six,
I
seven
mean,
years ago, and even then it was like, it's coming, it's coming.
they're not as old as Big Dogs, but they've been around a while.
Yeah, I think they were around 11 or 12 years old, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I am a fan of this beer. I'm not a fan of barley wine, so
And just what makes
that's saying
this
a lot.
barley wine distinct is, let's see if I can read the descriptor here.
Man, that really
Uh,
permeates.
Brewed under a blood moon to usher in the holiday season, this rich, chewy barley wine ale is loaded with resinous Chinook hops, aromas of pine, spice, and earth mix, with biscuit and caramel from the Victory and Caramunic malts, a true winter warmer. So,
Winter warmer. It's 101 degrees today. That's
yeah, yeah. Well,
supposed to be our final triple-digit day today.
in Las Vegas, when it
we'll
gets
see.
down to 80, we consider that winter. So, woo,
It's getting dark at
get out the
6:45
mittens.
now. So yeah, here we go. Let's begin.
We are going to be using tulip glasses,
Yeah.
and just this has been we've been discussing beer glasses on the channel for sure.
This is a Tenaya Creek one I forgot to mention. Sorry.
The flaring out here is what in fact makes this a tulip. It would otherwise be a snifter. I still kind of refer to these as flared
Look, I'm
snifters,
holding it under your nose.
but they are considered tulips.
Take a sip. There, closer.
Oh,
There.
I'm drowning.
All right. So, and I have Astronomy Oil Works. So we got
Ooh,
we're doing all
pouring
local,
local beers into local glasses.
Local. All right.
And it even says on the bottle, drink local. So.
Says age as well, and it says drink local.
Quick facts about this amongst the amongst the reviewing community,
Stats,
not
please.
brewing.
The people want stats.
The people want stats. Only
Good
had two
stats.
friends on Untapped review this. I honestly think I didn't double check, but I believe Leland was one of them because I sent him a bottle of this
Mr.
once.
Chris Leland.
But between those two friends, a cumulative score of 4.5. 741 reviews, cumulative score 3.72, which sounds rather lukewarm. However, I have seen, I have watched, I have looked. Barley wines do not get high scores on Untapped. They just don't. So 3.72, the fact that it's above 3.5, that's extraordinary, gang, especially amongst only 741 reviewers.
Right. It's interesting.
I have checked in, excuse me.
741.
I have checked in 3 times on this beer. My cumulative score for this is 4.25. Probably it would have gotten the 4.5 were it to come in a can, but then again, I don't like barley wines in cans, so
Right.
I probably, blah, blah, blah.
That might lower the
Beer
score.
Advocate only has 15 rankings, giving it an 87, which on their score was very good. Now, that's a while back. I don't know what Beer Advocate's doing with their rankings anymore. They're doing 5-point scales, they're doing 100-point scales. I can't keep track of it. Anyway, last I checked, this Beer Advocate, 15 rankings, 87, very good. There you have it. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, you just taught me something. I wasn't aware Beer Advocate was basically flip-flopping their high score, low score system.
They're doing it. They're doing
What?
a 5-point scale and a 100-point scale, and it's a little confusing, I have to say. But in the end, I trust the gang at Beer Advocate, the people who review at Beer Advocate. And I'm not saying I'm in 100% agreement, but
Sure.
more often than not, I'm usually within ranking of that. More than I am Untapped, honestly, I got to say. So let's give this a good sniff and see what we come up with.
It's definitely got a sweet.
Molasses, man, I
Yeah.
swear, molasses.
Yeah, very much so. Very sweet, very earthy. You almost feel like you're walking through some woods and some syrup is just kind of like sticking somewhere nearby, and you can pick it up on
You
the
can
breeze
smell the
or
blood
something.
oranges, that's for sure.
Yeah,
And
it's got a sticky, sweet smell for sure, but just more intense because it's been aged. That's how barley wine should smell.
yeah, has a 10% ABV, so obviously, as Tony pointed out, it does say right on the label that it ages well. Also says drink local.
Yes. If you don't believe me, there you go. Ages well.
Yeah, it's funny.
Drink local.
I don't think in the descriptor it says anything about blood oranges, but I could have sworn when I read it before, when I read about this beer, that it had blood oranges. So,
Same here.
cheers.
Cheers, people. Woo. Man, that's chewy.
But it has mellowed with age, that's for sure.
It's mellowed with age, right?
Now, what I've
It
been
has.
picking up, the difference between the two, I'm picking up sort of an almondy flavor, which
I'm getting like dark fruit, like dates maybe,
Mhm.
or I don't want to say prunes because
no, prunes. No, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Prune is what I picked up first out of the dark fruit, but
I think I'm reluctant to use the word prune because most people, when you say the word prune, they're like, ew. It's just one of those words. like moist, you know. You know, it's just one of those trigger words. You said prunes. Don't say moist prunes. Then we have a problem.
It's funny,
It's very chewy
the
and
alcohol, the burn is very much in the aftertaste. I
very
mean,
much so.
because at first you think, oh,
Don't
there's
get
not
any
going
at
to be
first.
one.
Right.
And then, like a couple seconds later, it just kind of hits you in the back of the nostrils, and you go, oh,
Yeah.
there's the alcohol burn.
It's a slow build for sure. Yeah.
Which I guess is part of the aging process too. Because
I would think it is mellower than I remember it being
Mhm.
from being a fresh bottle. I just think when this beer is fresh, it's kind of amped up. The flavors are very explosive.
Mhm.
This is, I don't want to say it's not explosive. It's tamed down a little bit.
The truth be told, I don't
Just
think
kind of surprising to me.
I don't know that they've reissued this beer. So I mean, it would have to be a reissue. Otherwise, it would all be, I think, aged.
Bottled
Bottle
right
aged.
around 2016, 2017. I'm not really sure what the year. That's something to look into. The year they introduced this beer. Um, I don't think it's one. I don't. I'm pretty certain it's not
If you
one
want
of
to
their
vamp at the
flagship
camera, I'll
beers.
see what I can find out really quick.
Oh, okay. Knock knock. Who's there? Um,
Come on, Tony, do a magic
yeah,
trick. Woo!
I could taste some hot sauce for you because Chris don't want to participate
You
in
know
that.
any yo-yo tricks or
I do not. I can do this funny thing with my eye. What I was going to say is I don't think this is one of their flagship beers. I don't
No,
recall
it's not flagship. That's for
barley
sure.
wine, them making barley wine when Joseph James opened here in Henderson slash Las Vegas, it's our suburb, um, I want to say about 11 or 12 years ago. They also went through a phase, I think it lasted about a year, where they were kind of like switching up ownership or something like that.
Brewers
Something
anyway.
kind of
Yeah.
something kind of threw a monkey wrench into like the middle of their tenure. And if I'm not mistaken, I might be. I want to say that they kind of just like disappeared for like a year or so. I don't remember them having a full 11 or 12-year run, but could be just my memory. So, is this thing going to cooperate? And
Yeah,
we have 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
as it turns out, the Leland is not one of them. So I could have sworn I sent a bottle to him. I guess I didn't.
Bastard.
But the earliest reviews that I'm finding are February of 2015. So I'm thinking this may have been issued in 2015.
Well, they did say winter, so I'm thinking maybe the fall of 2014.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
when it comes to like a seasonal, they're gonna like Sam Adams, for example. Oktoberfest is available the last day or two of July.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
it seems like a lot of I'm just naming Sam Adams at the top of my head. A lot of companies just do that. They're advertising this as a winter warmer. I'm thinking it came out in like October maybe or
Blood
2014.
Moon with a lot
Is
of barley wines seem to come
associated
out in
with fall.
October.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Astronomy Ale Works is going to be having their
That's right.
anniversary, their 1-year anniversary
Next
party
month, yeah.
in October on the 12th.
Yep.
They will be introducing a barley wine there.
That's true.
So
That's true. Shout out to Matt Brady for hitting the 1-year anniversary. They actually had their 1-year anniversary a couple weeks ago, but it was for their soft opening. So the real grand opening was October. So about 4 weeks from now. Yeah.
I'm going to say, honestly,
I still like
if you've
it.
got
I
a
think.
bottle of this, go ahead and open it now.
Yeah.
You know, Brian from Tenaya Creek, see here,
Brian,
is the one who told me, start drinking your cellared beers. You don't have the capacity to cellar them properly, and he's right. And so I'm not going to say that I dislike this, but I think I like this better in its original form than I do
absolutely
this.
agree.
This is much too mellow.
It's still a tasty beer. It's
It
just
is. It's a great
not
beer,
what I remember
and
it
you can't
being.
take that away from it. But
Right.
aging it has not improved it. It's
It's just going to be the case. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still, it is what it is. Some bottles are just going to turn out that way. But I strongly recommend this beer to barley wine fans as a fresh beer.
definitely. And if they do a reissue of this, believe me, I'll be getting bottles of it. But I'll be drinking it within I don't know, a matter of weeks of getting the bottles.
Yeah.
So I see we've got less than a minute left.
Yeah. I think we covered the
We
beer
thank you
news
for
now.
watching and
Yes.
commenting and liking, and please be sure to subscribe if you like what you see here. And
Do
until
you like
next
what you
time,
see?
drink good beer.
Oh yeah.
Don't break the bank doing it.
Don't break the bank and don't rob the bank.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.